babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori if you're new, and we are starting a vlog that I'm very excited for. Decorating for fall. Some cozy hobbies, actually all of the cozy hobbies. I would like to bake a little bit this week, very basic baking. I've decided for this fall and winter I want to try my hand at crocheting, which I've never done before, and I'm very nervous. I always feel the thought of starting a new cozy hobby is incredibly exciting, but in actuality we are learning a new skill, and let's hold hands and say this together. We're not going to be mad at ourselves if we don't get it perfect right away, and we're not going to rage quit our new cozy hobby just because we're not perfect from the very start, okay? We're going to give ourselves grace, and we're going to allow ourselves to be bad at something before we're good at something. Okay, perfect. I'm glad that we said that together. And then we're going to be reading. What is cozier than reading? I think my focus for this week is going to be some audiobooks. I'm currently listening to the 4th book in the Guild Hunter series, which is called Archangel's Blade by Nalini Singh. This is following a completely different couple from the first few books, so I'm very excited to get back into this because the Guild Hunter series is about angels and vampires, but this book specifically seems much more focused on vampires. The other audiobook that I have, and this will be a reread, I have been rereading the first couple books in the series because I have the finale book that came out a couple months ago now and realized that I needed a big refresh of the whole series. So we may potentially be going shopping for some additional fall decor, but we'll see what we have and how far it gets us. I also have this entire new bookshelf that we need to decorate, and I can guarantee I don't have many, if any, decorations for it. So there's our excuse right there. I think we're just gonna put on a little cozy ambient room because I don't know, learning a new hobby, if I can listen to an audiobook and also listen to instructions at the same time. I have a YouTube video that my lovely friend Emmy recommended to me for crocheting. I will leave it linked down below because I found it's extremely helpful. It goes through like supplies that you need, what she recommends for beginners, and then it starts to go through a couple different patterns. I think 3 different crocheting stitches, for lack of a better word. So we're going to try our hand at some of that right now and see how it goes. Overall thoughts and feelings so far. We made something. We're doing single crochet. I think I missed one of the stitches in the chain. In fact, I'm sure of it. I got acrylic yarn because that is what this girl that I'm watching recommended. She's a fantastic teacher, by the way. She was like, try not to pick a yarn that's super soft and try to get one that's acrylic. My yarn is, it like comes apart so you can see like the single strands, and that gets very confusing. I picked it because it's super soft, but that's probably why it not unravels, but like sort of unravels a little bit. Also, it's so hard to see your like stitches. So those are my overall thoughts so far. I'm gonna keep watching this. I think we're gonna learn a different stitch next. But this is really fun. I'm planning on, I think, starting my mornings off with crocheting because I feel like doing this at night in low light would be really challenging. So until we get the hang of it, I think we're gonna start off our mornings doing this week. I do have to log into work. I'm planning on listening to more of Archangel's Blade. I'll do a bit more of an update with that once I'm maybe at chapter 5 or so. I listened to the first 6 chapters. I'm going back and re-listening to all of them because I feel like my brain cells weren't turned on. I don't know, but I didn't remember a damn thing. I had no idea what was going on. So it's like, we're just gonna restart this from the beginning. So I will update when I actually know what's happening.
When was the last time that we did that? 'Cause I'm really missing you. It was so
Lately, I've been using these headphones because they aren't noise canceling, and I've been putting an ambient room in the background and then like listening to my audiobook. I don't know what it is about my brain, but if I listen to an audiobook just like out in the open without headphones in, I like tune it out a lot more than when I actually use headphones. So that's why I'm doing this, but I wanted to be able to like hear my little ambient room in the background. Hello friends, I have an update on Archangel's Blade. I'm trying to think about how much I want to say. This is a book following Dimitri, who's a vampire. So the first 3 books follow Elena, who is a vampire hunter, and an archangel named Raphael. And archangels in this world like run the show. Dimitri is Raphael's like second in command. He has to work with a different like vampire hunter whose name is Honor, and Girly has trauma, but also like Dimitri has trauma as well. Like there are big content warnings for this book. They're definitely dark paranormal romance. The whole series is dark paranormal romance, and like Elena and Raphael's story as well was definitely very, very dark. This one has SA warnings, I would say, and soon to find out like what else. There's also kind of like torture. It doesn't happen, at least with what I've read so far. It's not like currently happening, but it happened in one of the characters' pasts. It's resurfacing, and they are very much still dealing with a lot of that because it sounds like it was crazy, and I'm only 5 chapters into this book. In all of these books, there's kind of a formula. Regardless of what characters you're following, we typically have like a murder case that we need to solve, and it's extra fun / extra deranged because it is like supernatural creatures that are doing the murdering / being murdered. Dimitri and Honor are set to work with each other. She is an expert on like historical linguistics and things like that. I think that's gonna come into play at some point. I will be so honest, I don't know how like into this story I am because I don't know how I fully feel about Dimitri. I didn't love him in the Elena and Raphael books because Dimitri is not the best vibes in my opinion. I think learning his backstory will be interesting, and I wonder if I will warm up to him a little bit more. I'm just very unsure. I'm also still super in the beginning. I have listened to 14%. So I'm gonna keep listening. Is this my second matcha of the day? None of your business. I don't have too big of a reading update for you. So last night I played Animal Crossing. We listened to Archangel's Blade. It was so nice, and it actually, the bedtime routine, the taking a shower, the playing a cozy game, the tuning into my audiobook, I was actually able to fall asleep last night and not have spiraling thoughts of anxiety that just like kept me awake, which is like monumental. We are going to continue to lean into routines that are good for our anxiety. Literally love that so much for us. And then this is my first official check-in of the day. I know you saw me make matcha at like 7 in the morning before we did our Tears of the Kingdom stream over on Twitch. Such a fun stream. Also the best matcha that I've made so far. This morning I made a vanilla matcha. I am right now, the reason why it's like kind of a weird color is because it's strawberry. I need to learn. I've seen super cutie pictures of strawberry matchas where people get their strawberry milk to sit just like on top or on the bottom and it doesn't mix into the green right away. Mine has mixed in. Well, I've also been like stirring it, but beside the point. Archangel's Blade. I am on chapter 16. I wonder what percentage I'm in. I think I'm gonna stick with this book until about the 50% mark. Ooh, I'm 42% of the way in. I'm not loving it, which is really disappointing because I love Elena and Raphael. Love them so much. This one, I don't think that the mystery is fully capturing me, the like murder mystery that they're investigating. And I'm also just not sure how I feel about Dimitri as a love interest. I think the big mental block that I'm having is that Honor went through some really horrific SA things only 6 months ago. And Dimitri is someone who is extremely forward with her, especially with hitting on her and making like comments about her and what he wants to do to her and all of those things. And normally I don't think that would bother me, except I feel as though Honor, and she's not like fully reciprocating that with him. And so my opinion, I feel like she needs someone who's a little bit more like hates everyone else but is gentle with her, or like is more aggressive to everybody else but is gentle with her. And that's not what we're getting. He's just aggressive to everybody in terms of like violence, but also I think in the way that he thinks about his romantic partners. And I don't know that that's working for me. He is giving, I will burn the world for her, anyone that hurt you, like who did this to you, I will go after them, which obviously we love that so much. I'm just unsure about their dynamic, and I don't know if it's working for me. But it's tough because I don't want to give up on it. I feel like I trust Nalini Singh to pull through and make it better, but at 42%, I'm definitely just not, it's not my favorite thing in the whole world, which is hard to say because the amount of silly goofy fun times that I had with the other 3 books in this series, but I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure about the romance. I'm not sure about the murder mystery plot. That's unfortunate. I'm hoping that tonight when we log off of work in a little bit, I will start Reckless because I think I'm mentally in a better place to physically read. And I'm so excited to read about Winter and Theo and get back into these characters and the Chestnut Springs world. I think that will do a lot of good for us. Good morning, besties. We're not going to talk about how my bed is not made and JMO's bed also looks crazy behind me. What we are going to talk about is how I stayed up until 2 in the morning last night unintentionally because I started reading Reckless and I literally couldn't stop myself if you paid me $1 million. I read 240 pages last night. Am I okay? Like, absolutely not. I'm so obsessed with this series. I actually need to read what's on the back of this book to make sure that I'm not spoiling anything for y'all. So actually, give me a second. Okay, I just wanted to make sure like one massive thing in the plot like was mentioned on the back of the book. I do like Winter. So Winter is supposed to be a very wintry character, very on point with the naming conventions here. She's very cold, she's a doctor, and she didn't have the most like loving upbringing as a child. Theo is absolute golden retriever energy. Like, he is just undeterred by her meanness, and she tries to be mean. She tries to get people to leave her alone by being so cold and standoffish. And Theo just loves it because he loves to push her buttons. He sees right through the facade. He's like, you're trying to push me away, but good luck because you're not doing it. It's so freaking cute. I do still stand by what I said where I think that this coupling is a little bit random in terms of like the series as a whole, but I'm not mad at it. I have never read an accidental pregnancy trope, actually. I'm really trying to think back. I don't read a lot of contemporary romance, but I do like sprinkle it in here and there. I don't think I've ever read an accidental pregnancy trope. I am so gagged by this. I will say, like, there are moments where I am getting annoyed with Winter because she is, her main, like, I think, issue that she's trying to overcome throughout this whole book, she never felt loved. She always felt like she was a burden because that's how her mother made her feel. And so she really internalized that, and she doesn't look for love from other people. She is extremely independent. Not only does she not know how to ask for help, but her natural inclination is to refuse help at any cost. Like, she just thinks, literally, no, get away from me. I'm gonna figure it out by myself, even if it kills me to do it. Which, honestly, my mommy issues are showing up in this book, but I'm here for it, and I understand it, and I think that's why I understand Winter. I know that she's not the most likable character, but that's extremely intentional. It's why I also loved Nesta so much. But the thing that's making me a little bit frustrated with Winter, Theo is really trying to show up for her, and I'm obsessed with him. But like, there's moments when she really, really could use help, and he's clearly just trying to like be there for her. Now let's talk about Theo. The way that first and second chapters, I was like, we love him, Your Honor. We love him. The way I go from loving this man to absolutely hating this man's guts, and I'm like, why would he do that? Like, what is happening? That isn't who we met. He has an evil twin. Like, what is going on? And then we find out like what happened. It's thinking about it now, there is definitely a miscommunication trope, which isn't my favorite thing in the whole world, but it very quickly and easily gets resolved, which I'm fine with. Theo with this baby. Oh my god! Baby fever is so real. Like, take your birth control when you read this book. I can't even say anything else besides that. Like, it's just absolutely incredible. Put Reckless up there on my dresser. I can't even look at it, otherwise I'm gonna want to pick it up. I haven't read too much more. We've only read like 40 pages more, but I just wanted to say they've hit this breaking point that I was waiting with bated breath for, to be honest, because like Winter continues to get just more and more aggravating for like the reasons I was talking about earlier, and I'm like, it has to get to a point where it's a breaking point and he's gonna be like, knock it off, like stop doing this, and they're hitting that and it's turning spicy. So I'm gonna need him to hump this attitude out of her, and I'm so excited for it. Morning besties. We are crocheting this morning. This is the half double crochet, and I didn't drop a stitch with this one. I kind of still want to get one of those, I think they're called woobles. I would like to still get one of those packs just for additional practice, and I feel like, at least from looking at it, the yarn that they provide for those little projects looks like it's easy to work with. I think I mentioned the yarn that I bought. It's not the hardest thing in the world. I actually don't think it's too bad. It's just that, again, I'm making my stitches like really, really tight. But I think that they would provide like a bigger yarn, and that might be really easy because with a bigger yarn, you're gonna be able to see your stitches a lot more clearly. I have a little bit of an update for Reckless. I think we only have maybe 120 pages left of the book, but I'm losing steam with it a little bit. It's not that I don't like Winter and Theo. I think the spice has been disappointing me in this one because the spice with Kate and Willa and the spice with Jasper and Sloane was like top tier. And I do like these books for the romance, right? Like I do love the couples, and that's why like I'm still having a great time with Theo and Winter's book because their romance is just everything. I think as we go on though, Winter has still been annoying me. Like I said last night, we hit that breaking point, which I really, really appreciate. And I think that Winter is just much, much more insecure than she's ever realized. Like even for herself, in her self-reflection, she's realizing I am very insecure and I do need to work on this, and I need to be able to trust other people. I think that she's starting to get past that. I just wish that it hadn't taken so long for her to get to where we are. Doesn't seem on the same level. Like it's just very, very different. And so I'm thinking it's gonna be a 4-star for me. It definitely hasn't been like my favorite, but Theo and his little baby girl will live in my mind rent-free. Plans for today are just to have a cozy, relaxing, almost like a mental health day. We will finish Reckless. Like we said, we're gonna keep crocheting. I do want to go to TJ Maxx and do a little bit of fall decor shopping because what I realized when I pulled out some decorations to take an Instagram picture earlier this morning is that we have a couple leaf garlands. I have some little pumpkins that I've bought from Target, I think last year. Yeah, I think last year, but I don't have as much fall decor as I thought. I have a ton of Christmas decor. So I made a little list of some things that we're looking for when we go to TJ Maxx, and we'll do that pretty soon. So today's gonna be a very fun day. Also, we baked bread this morning. We made our rosemary and garlic bread. If I could share a smell with you through the camera, I would, because the house smelled so good this morning. Those are the reading updates. We will talk soon. we got so much stuff. I don't know what it was, just the air in Home Goods and TJ Maxx. We literally got so much stuff. I'm so excited. I don't know if I want to do like a haul because we're gonna start to decorate after I eat some food and you're gonna see it all anyways. So let's just do that. I don't want to be repetitive, but I'm so excited to fallify the apartment. We're also going to be like putting away a lot of other like seasonal stuff that we had out for summer. You're watching Disney Channel.
I still dream about you every night. Guess I'm wondering if you're alright. I wish I didn't do that, but I do. And do you ever dream of me? Or are my visions just a one-way street? If they are, then that's okay. 'Cause a dream is just a dream. It doesn't mean
Hello besties. Apologies for the late check-in. It is like 4:45 on Friday, which will be the last day of this vlog. I just went food shopping at Trader Joe's and I'm gonna try one of the cucumber recipes. I don't know if y'all are on cucumber salad TikTok. I think that the guy's name is Logan on TikTok, but he does like all different kinds of cucumber salad and he's like, sometimes you just have to eat a whole cucumber. That's what we're doing today. I am in a snacking mood because I didn't really eat lunch. We did a Tears of the Kingdom stream earlier today and I really haven't had anything substantial to eat. So I'm drinking a diet soda because obviously we're gonna make a Caesar salad type cucumber salad that I'm super excited to try. It's like cucumber, red onion, Caesar dressing, and he put bacon bits in it. I'm not gonna do bacon bits for mine. I was gonna do some crispy prosciutto, but I don't feel like baking it, so we're just gonna do a cucumber Caesar salad with red onion. So we're gonna do that. I do have some reading updates. We finished Reckless. I ended up giving it, I'm gonna say 3.5 stars. I like Theo and Winter more than I liked Summer and Rhett's love story. Like I gave Flawless 3 stars. I'm giving this 3.5 because Theo and his baby were just perfection. I really enjoyed Winter's character, but I think that the spice, even towards the end, felt very like lackluster to me. It felt very underwhelming for how bantery and quippy and back and forth they were. I wanted there to be more passion in their spicy scenes, similar to how they were so passionate towards like each other, you know, with their back and forth. And I feel like we never really got that. I found their spice after Kate and Willa and after Jasper and Sloane. I found their spice to be pretty underwhelming, which was so sad because I feel like Elsie Silver was just getting better and better and better, and then it was just kind of like, okay. So I have done more reading in A Touch of Malice, but the air conditioner just came on. So I'm going to pause here. Let's make our cucumber salad, and then I'll give you a reading update for Touch of Malice. Caesar dressing, but it's okay. Let's try our first bite. Oh my god, this would be, I can already tell it would be really good with bacon bits in it. That is so fire. I was worried about the red onion because I'm not a huge red onion person, but because it gets sliced so thin, oh my god. 9 out of 10. Little update on A Touch of Malice. We are 36% of the way through. I am enjoying this more than I enjoyed the second book, that's for sure. There's so much going on with the plot in this one, and I think it's setting up the last book in the series really well. It's reigniting that curiosity in me because it's been so long since I've read these books, which I think I already mentioned. It's building up the anticipation for A Touch of Chaos. What I really enjoyed about this series when I first read it is that it makes Greek mythology a little bit more approachable, and it would be the same thing with the Neon Gods series, because is this like a spicy fantasy romance? Absolutely, like that is what this book is. However, it stays true to like the gods and goddesses, not even gods, like also humans, like the people that they pick for their heroes. It incorporates all of that in here, and before I had read A Touch of Darkness, Greek mythology was something I was always interested in, but they're always kind of stuffy, right? Like I have read the Odyssey and I did really enjoy that experience, but was it the most like approachable? Was it the most understandable? Not always. Like it takes some effort to read those myths, and this is just such a fun, like not only fantasy romance that it keeps your attention, but it incorporates all of those like actual myths and relationships and stuff like that. I think that Scarlett St. Clair does it so well. And even though, like, I will say that Persephone definitely isn't my favorite character, I'm not like screaming about her as much as I was when I first read this series in 2020. I like the found family. I really enjoy the underworld. I think that she did such a fantastic job with her ideas of what the underworld is. I think I'm not even at the halfway point, but I don't think this is gonna be a 5-star for me. Actually, what did I rate it the first time that I read it? Yeah, the first time I read this book, I gave it 5 stars. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see as we get closer to the end. I'm thinking it's more of like a 3 to a 4-star, but I'm still having a fantastic time rereading this series that like was one of the series that got me back into reading. But I'm so happy to be rereading this book because I like remembered big picture things that happened in this book. I remembered something about weather because there's like a crazy snowstorm that's going on in this one. I remembered something about weather and that was pretty much it. So a lot of these major plot points, it's been so nice to refresh and catch up with these characters. And let me grab the last book. I was looking at this book earlier today. It is the chunkiest book of the series. It's also the finale book. This one has multiple POV, and that's what I've wanted like throughout this reread of the A Touch of Darkness series. My preference, I would have preferred with this series if it wasn't just the A Touch of books for Persephone's POV, the Game of books for Hades. I wish that they were dual POV from the very beginning, but it just makes me so much more excited to get to this one. And I'm sorry, I know I've said I'm excited like a million bajillion times at this point, so apologies for that. But this feels like such a long time coming, finishing this series. I just can't wait for it. And I apologize, we're not going to get to this book in this vlog, but I will be reading it in September, so I will try to include this finale book in an upcoming vlog pretty soon. Hi besties, I'm here to close out this weekly reading vlog. It is Saturday, but I wanted to give a final update on A Touch of Malice. I am 42% of the way through. The way that I thought I was gonna finish that book last night, like who do I think I am? But last night I crocheted quite a bit, which is so fun. I actually started my first crocheting project. I'm doing a little leaf, like a little crocheted leaf that you can put on the top of your headphones, or you can use it as like a headphone keeper. I have no idea how to describe what it actually does. I feel like I practiced each of the stitches enough, and then I'm someone who like needs an actual project to be like, okay, let me put to use what I just learned. So it's definitely not the perfect project, but I will include like a little bit of a clip. I've done a leaf and a half, like there's 2 leaves, and I've done like the first whole one, and then I'm halfway through the second one. Also, I broke a nail, so I'm gonna be hiding it like this. Let's not talk about it. But this was so much fun. I hope that you enjoyed just like reading, but then also doing other cozy hobbies and baking and learning how to crochet. This was literally so much fun. I would like to incorporate other cozy hobbies. And then today I went and I picked up one of my most anticipated releases of this year, Us in Ruins by Rachel Moore. I'm so excited to start this. I went to 2 different Barnes & Nobles and I had to put my name in. They were ordering more copies, and so they held one of the copies that they ordered for me. So I came to the library afterwards. I got a pumpkin cold brew from Dunkin', and I'm just laying in the grass because sometimes you just need to touch grass, and what a better way to end the week. So I hope that you enjoyed watching, friends. If you did, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you've made it this far, leave a little ghost emoji down in the comments. I will catch you down there, and I will see you in my next one. Toodles!